This is problem 1. Find and draw fyy and fyy in terms of fxx and fxx. So here is the diagram, and y equals to gx. So from the conditions of problem 1, we can get y equals to gx equals to 2 for x is smaller than 0, and gx equals to 0 for x is larger than 0 and smaller than 1. For x is larger than 1 and smaller than 2, gx equals to negative x plus 1. For x is larger than 2, y equals to gx equals to negative 1. And the diagram from problem is fxx. So in order to easier to understand, I draw a diagram of y equals to gx here. When y equals to 2, probability of y equals to 2 equals to fx0. When y equals to 0, probability of y equals to 0 equals to fx1 minus fx0. When y equals to negative 1, the probability of y equals to negative 1 equals to 1 minus fx2. So fyy equals to fx1 minus 1, and from the diagrams and the formula we can get fyy equals to 1 minus fx2 times delta y plus 1 when y equals to negative 1. And fyy equals to fx1 times 1 minus y when y is larger than negative 1 and smaller than 0. Fyy equals to fx1 minus fx0 times delta y when y equals to 0. Fyy equals to fx0 times delta y minus 2 when y equals to 2. Otherwise, fyy equals to 0. And we can get fyy equals to integral from y to fyy equals to integral from range from negative infinite to y fx times 1 minus a dA equals to integral range from negative infinite to negative 1 fx times 1 minus a dA plus integral from negative 1 to y fx times 1 minus a dA equals 1 minus fx 1 minus y. So we can get fyy equals to 0 when y is smaller than negative 1. Fyy equals to 1 minus fx times 1 minus y when y is larger than negative 1 and smaller than 0. fyy equals to 1 minus fx0 when 0 is smaller than y and y is smaller than 2. And fyy equals to 1 when y is larger than 2. And then we can get the diagrams uh, of fxx and fxx. Here is the cruise of homework 4 from Brightspace. We can see here is this here is the diagram from fxx, and here is the diagram from fxx, which is the same with the conditions of the problem. And the two diagrams are fyy and fyy. So we can get here the two diagrams are fyy and fyy.